What is going on, you guys? Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this beautiful January 4th, 2023. My name is Cody Thixon, and this is Interesting Podcast. Tonight, we are going to be talking about Episode 8, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 39. Why I think this is the most perfect situation, and why this is the perfect storyline going in to this year's next WrestleMania. Let's get into it. As we all know, this past Friday night, Charlotte Flair returned on Friday Night SmackDown and ended up winning the SmackDown Women's Championship against Ronda Rousey. This was actually really surprising because everybody thought that Charlotte Flair was going to be a surprise entrant in this upcoming January's Royal Rumble. But obviously, based off of what we saw this past Friday, that is not the case. So who is going to face Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania? That is the ultimate question as we lead into the Royal Rumble and figure out the Royal Rumble winner. What I am predicting right now is that Charlotte Flair will go one-on-one with Rhea Ripley for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles. Now let's think about what WWE was thinking about before Charlotte Flair returned. I think everybody already knew that there's no way that WWE was going to go into their biggest WrestleMania of all time and not have Charlotte Flair appear in some capacity. Did we expect it to be for a championship? Yes. Was the main rumor for it to be Bianca Belair versus Charlotte Flair? That's what people were expecting. So it's kind of a twist right now that WWE is throwing this upon us, not merely 4 weeks before the Royal Rumble. So who do I think, obviously based off of the title, who I think Charlotte Flair will end up competing with at WrestleMania 39 will be Rhea Ripley. If you look at the way that WWE has built her up over the past couple of months, she's the only woman on this women's division that not only could win a Royal Rumble, but also lead a captivating storyline going into WrestleMania. And if you look at what Rhea Ripley has done with the Judgment Day, they've been spectacular, in my opinion, as far as what they've done, or at least tried to put other superstars over. Because you look at Damian Priest, you look at Finn Balor, you look at Rhea Ripley, now you include Dominic Mysterio in that mix, and Rhea Ripley being his quote-unquote mommy, which is just a rip-off of Eddie Guerrero's Poppy phase, and it's all been great. But if you look at the importance in which that has helped Rhea Ripley accomplish, I could see it without a doubt, WWE involving her in WrestleMania 39 in a very big capacity. Now, will it be for a championship? If you look at the women that have been built up over the last few months, there's only very few women who could actually be in the championship opportunity at WrestleMania. So what I see happening is I think Rhea Ripley will win the Royal Rumble this coming January in 2023. And I think she will challenge Bianca Belair on Raw, because Judgment Day is on Raw. And then that's an easy storyline to coordinate, especially given how Rhea Ripley has been built. So could this be Rhea Ripley's first WrestleMania match? Now let's also look back at Rhea Ripley winning the Royal Rumble. If you look at the past 5 Royal Rumble winners, Asuka won in 2019. Becky Lynch won in I apologize. Asuka won in 2018. Becky Lynch won in 2019. Then we got Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, and Ronda Rousey. All of them are going to be in a high-profile match going into WrestleMania. So who's to say that WWE wouldn't allow Rhea Ripley to win the Royal Rumble? Because those are the only 5 women that we have that are actually pushed to a point where they could be a part of a championship opportunity. So either one of these women is going to become the first woman to win 2 Royal Rumble matches in their respective careers, or we will get somebody else who hasn't won the Women's Royal Rumble. And the only person who I can see doing that is Rhea Ripley. So, like, the most perfect thing to happen is for her to challenge Charlotte Flair. And then maybe we can get Asuka challenging Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. And then we could also get Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania in a singles match, not for a title, but just who is the absolute man. You know what I'm saying? So that's just like how I see it going on. If Rhea Ripley wins the Royal Rumble, I feel like she's going to challenge Charlotte Flair. Even though I said earlier that like it would kind of make sense given the fact that both of them are on Raw, it's still the fact that it's based off of the choice of the Royal Rumble winner. So she could want to make a statement and go after Charlotte Flair. Now, how would we deal with that when they're both heels? I could see Judgment Day building up so much momentum going into the whole WrestleMania season that Rhea Ripley actually kind of transforms into a babyface, especially with her winning the Royal Rumble and Charlotte Flair wanting to come back as a heel. So we don't have any concrete evidence on who's going to win, but this is my speculation on what's going to happen at WrestleMania. And I predict right now that it'll be Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship on either night 1 or night 2. Now, the very interesting thing is, could this be Rhea Ripley's first ever Women's Championship match at WrestleMania and her come out as the champion? Because it's already been said on this past Monday or Friday night with her returning that she's now a 15-time world champion, or 14-time world champion. So if she were to lose it at WrestleMania, it would give her another opportunity to reach number 15. And I think she will become the only person to hold the most world championships in WWE history, because it's Ric Flair and John Cena, who both hold 16. If she holds this until WrestleMania and then loses it, and then is able to capture it again for another run, she would be at 15. So she would only be 2 runs away, and everybody knows that her career is still really short. And she's going to be in the WWE. So she is going to surpass Ric Flair and John Cena. I apologize. She's going to surpass those 2 records. So to expect her to be able to only hold the championship until WrestleMania, to drop it to Rhea Ripley, which would give the Judgment Day a boost because now they have the, SmackDown Women's Championship. And then we could also see it where now maybe Judgment Day can quote unquote take over WWE and actually be able to bounce between Raw and SmackDown. And I know a lot of fans don't understand like the whole brand split or whether or not they allow certain superstars to come in even though they're drafted to one show. It's about unpredictability. That's what it ultimately boils down to. So I could see maybe Rhea Ripley gaining her first WrestleMania championship win at this year's WrestleMania in Los Angeles. And given the exposure, it'll send Rhea Ripley to now adding another superstar besides a Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair or Ronda Rousey or a Bianca Belair or an Alexa Bliss or a Bayley. Then we could also add Rhea Ripley. And that would be definitely very, very good for the WWE Women's Division heading into the summer of 2023. So if this is the kind of content that you guys like, somebody who loves professional wrestling, if you guys like podcasts, this is the podcast for you guys to follow. I have been watching professional wrestling for over 17 years. I have absolutely dissected it. Fell in love with it. So if you want somebody who's going to give it to you real, going to be honest, going to be straightforward, who actually has a vision of what WWE wants to do as a business, then this is the podcast for you guys to follow. Again, my name is Cody Thixton, and thank you guys so very much for joining me right here on Interesting Podcast. I'll catch you guys later.